guys, Triarius Wargaming here, and I just wanted to give you a showcase of my Roman terrain that I've completed: buildings, roads, and trees. Alright, so first up we got two pieces from Sarissa Precision I did last summer, which you may have seen in my other videos. The Greek farmhouse and the roadside shrine. The shrine I didn't texture because I wanted to give a smooth stone look. The farmhouse I textured with clay and did a lot of dry brushing on that one to kind of get the weathered effect. Okay, switching manufacturers now to warbases. This is the warbases Roman watchtower. And then we've got the Roman, one of the Roman villas from warbases. This one I textured using clay like the other villa. And I think it turned out okay. I actually used oil washes on this one rather than dry brushing. There's almost no dry brushing except for the roof. And same with the temple. This was kind of an experiment, or the church, excuse me. This was kind of an experiment. The church and this villa, I used spackling material to try and give it some texture. And then all the buildings, I used oil washes. And this is my first time trying oil washes, so the burned out villa, also from warbases, was kind of my experiment with that. I did some trees and roads as well, all just now. So the roads, I actually used a canvas base, and the stone texture I actually used a printed out texture from online. And the trees, they're supposed to be Italian cypresses. There are pipe cleaners rolled up and then dunked in glue and covered in flock. Okay, so I do briefly want to talk about the watchtower. What I do need to add onto this to finish it is some kind of wooden stockade. I just ran out of time. So if you have any good tips or advice on making one, let me know in the comments. Now, I do have some ideas. I'm not sure when we'll get around to actually making the stockade, but I think that is really needed to complete this piece for the tabletop. And Peter Connolly actually has some great illustrations that he did with the watchtower with the stockade around it. My big decision is, do I want a unit of troops to be able to actually fit in at the base? I mean, the answer to that is probably a yes. So here's some troops just on the table showing what they look like in comparison to the buildings. I think they blend in pretty well. So I did want to see how the troops would interact with the villas. So this one, you can't really fit all three bases on the inside. You kind of have to, unless you push the back section of the villa back. So this is something I got to brainstorm for using these on the table. What kind of rules should there be with urban combat? So the usual rule set I use is to the strongest. It doesn't really cover the urban warfare so much. So I don't know what you think with how flanks would be used, cover, is even fighting in from a villa an advantage? All right, so here's the dudes on the Sarissa Precision farmhouse. You can see they fit a little better inside the courtyard, and you can kind of put them on the rooftops as well, which I've done in games. But anyways, if you got suggestions for using urban combat, how you would go about defending a villa like this, which honestly, in kind of the scale of games I tend to play, I mean, I think that's kind of the problem with Mass Battle 28mm is this villa is probably more representative of like a village rather than a singular like building. If you think about the size of the table and the size of the units, it's all kind of an abstraction. I think these villas might, that villa might represent a whole farming community or something if you're actually playing. But anyways, that's just rambling. If you got tips, advice, whatever for wargaming with buildings, let me know. So here's just a final shot of all the buildings I completed, the roads, the trees. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. See you all around.